Hey, Paul. So it's been a little while since we talked about the app that you've been building, Recall. Got you started, but you've kind of taken it completely from there. And now you're on version 3.0. It's looking amazing. Give me a little rundown of where it's at now.
Well, for those of you that don't know, I had this vision to build an app. Jason said, I'm going to set you up with vibe coding. I've been vibe coding to my heart's content. The app solves a very simple problem, remembering names. So it adds context to contacts. It adds a hashtag to a contact when you meet someone. Very simple principle. So the app, basically, I'm just going to quickly show it to you. So, I'm a parent. I want to remember all the parents that I know in my world. I'm still adding people in here, but bang, there's all my parents. I'm looking for an assistant in New York. So assistant, bang. These are all my assistants in New York. Very simple idea, last used, ABC, etc. So now the question is, how do I get this app out into the world?
Well, one big thing I think you got to tell everyone about this app is the fact that it's not its own independent CRM. It's actually using your contacts notes field to organize, which I think is brilliant. Paul's been bugging me to build this app for years, and all of a sudden now you have a CRM without having to build one. If you want to delete this app, that's what I thought so brilliant. So you're not giving yourself enough credit there. But yeah,
Well,
let's
I
let's
would have done it without you.
let's talk marketing now. Paul's done really well. He's not giving himself enough credit. He made it to the 30s in productivity. Sorry, in utilities, but he
Yeah,
switched categories to productivity. And I was kind of explaining how we market apps. So we've had, I think, 6 number one apps over the years. It's been a few years since we had a hit. We're kind
amazing.
of like we're like the Eagles or the Fleetwood Mac of apps. But we try to divide our marketing into a few different categories. One is you have like passive and discovery. Two is you kind of have active where you're going out there and promoting, and three, you have paid. So on the passive discovery side, the most important thing is make sure your app has got really good keywords. Search for your app in the store, search for your competitors, make sure your description looks good. Apple's kind of system is super opaque. So that's really just kind of a process of, constantly tweaking these things with every update, stuff like that, having competitor keywords in there. Another really important side now
How
is
do I add
having
those keywords?
um in app information, there's a keywords field. You can have
Oh
up to
yeah, I've done
99
that. Yep.
characters. I think I filled it out for you, so you might want to start tweaking that. But that, in discovery, you want to have good search results. So that means having a website. I know you haven't built a website yet. I would,
That's my
get a
next step. I'm doing that this morning.
So I would get a domain name and I'd start putting a lot of, the keyword clustering, as they call it, about what is a CRM? How is it useful? How can I have the non-CRM CRM? Um, and then just start searching about how people might find your app. And that's like going on to Reddit or Quora or any of these sites and just commenting, hey, there's this new app, or I built this app. It's a little tricky because, Reddit has social credit. They try to stop spammers,
Right.
but you've got to put a lot of information into that. And then another big thing is, now we're calling it GEO instead of SEO, is how do the LLMs know about your app? And that's like blog
Got it.
entries. And so you've got to write a lot of stuff. And we've talked about this before. I have dyslexia, but I think you have it at a whole different level. So, writing about, this is an amazing tool for dyslexic
Yeah.
people, and it's color coded, and you've made it incredibly visual and simple. And having that content on your site, so these LLMs find it. So when you ask ChatGPT or you ask Claude, hey, I want a way to organize my contacts, I'm a little bit dyslexic, that Recall gets mentioned in those search results. And then we'll save this for another video, but you start getting into paid and social accounts. And in my opinion, social accounts are just basically paid now because the Instagram algorithm is totally, and so is Facebook's, optimized for you buying content. It's no longer optimized for you sharing content. But I don't know, do you have any
Right.
questions about that first, like building a website and kind of making some posts on Reddit and things?
Yeah, I think, I think this video will go a long way too, and it will help. But I think starting off with the website sounds like a great idea. I mean, that website probably needs a little couple of how-tos and a couple of little tricks because there are some aspects to the app that aren't necessarily that clear that I've baked in for sort of power users. But, my story sounds, what you're saying to me is build a website, tell my story, make sure that, the bots can scrape that, and then link that to multiple platforms. I mean, I'm pushing it out onto LinkedIn, and because I guess I've got a little bit of a network there, I've had a good response. I'm about to do an email. I'm doing a bit of cross marketing, and I'm a photographer, and I'm nothing to do with the app world, but I think I've solved a problem that a lot of people are having, which is, when you're in production or you need to get to people's names quickly or remember all those parents or everyone in your office and just see a quick list of all their names. We all kind of have that problem. I think that's it's like a light CRM that I've sort of a problem that I'm solving.
So
I'm
I
really
would
hoping that I
definitely
can get
write
it.
well, on LinkedIn, I would definitely write a LinkedIn article then, not just a post.
Okay, great.
So because
Okay. I did a
the
post
search
with a
engines
lot of reaction,
index
but yeah,
that more. They don't usually tend to do very
right.
well socially, like, you don't get a lot of likes on the articles, but they do index very well. So
Got it. Oh, that's good to know. Okay, so article and also post. And then so I'm doing a big email blast out to a whole bunch of, I guess, creatives that have got nothing to do with apps and are not looking for it, but
mm,
it's part of a visual. I'm sending some new work I've done. There's a new video on a new book I'm doing. So I'm just linking it to that,
oh,
and I'm sort of alternative marketing.
no, I mean, yeah, bootstrap marketing or guerrilla marketing, as they used to call it. That's definitely the way to go. All right, well, we'll keep trying to make these videos and keep everyone updated, and we'll share the stories of what Paul's having success with, and hopefully to help you all out there. All right, on to the next video.